At the beginning of the movie, we see a long waiting line outside a restaurant, and Reza says that the food here is not that tasty. Yet why does they keep coming back here? To which his girlfriend Woolen tells him that her friend says this place uses some kind of black magic. He does not believe this, to which Woolen says that her friend has a sixth sense, and she can see what other people cannot see. In his house, Reza's father introduces him to a painting depicting Suluk, a ritual symbolizing a journey towards enlightenment. He emphasizes the significance of understanding their cultural history alongside formal education. However, Reza counters, insisting that everything must have a logical explanation. After this, in a flashback, we see Reza and his younger brother, who is wearing an amulet given to him by his dad for protection. Suddenly, Reza's brother encounters a bike, but the biker saves him. Just when he thinks the amulet has saved him, a truck crushes him. And since then, Reza has begun to hate everything related to the other world, devils, and amulets. After completing graduation, Reza applies for jobs for many months, but is unable to find employment anywhere. Finally, after applying to countless places and going through numerous interviews, he receives a call. One night, when Woolen comes to their house for dinner, Reza tells them that he has got a job, but he has to move away to East Java. Woolen becomes upset to hear this, and Reza's mother suggests to him why he doesn't join his dad's business instead. However, his dad supports him for his decision. Later, Reza confides in Woolen, expressing his frustration at being unemployed for over 6 months and feeling like a burden. He mentions that his parents are okay with his job, but he's willing to leave if she wants him to. In response, Woolen reassures him, stating that she has always prayed for him to find a job, and now that her prayers have been answered, she sees no reason to say no. The following day, all three accompany Reza to the railway station, where his father presents him with an amulet for protection. Reza expresses reluctance, stating that he doesn't typically use such amulets. His father insists, emphasizing that Reza is heading to an unfamiliar place, and regardless of his beliefs, he should accept it as a gift from him. He then meets Woolen and says he will come back to marry her, so he can take her there with him. The scene transitions to Banyuwangi, where Reza's company driver Imran escorts him to his accommodation. Upon arrival, his colleague Indra greets him warmly. He then introduces Reza to another colleague, Minto, and at that moment, their helper Dikin also arrives. Dikin accompanies Reza to his room, and upon noticing the amulet given by his dad, he cautions him to be careful with sacred items like that, as they could potentially offend someone. The following day, Reza joins his colleagues for lunch at the workplace, where they assure him that there's minimal work pressure. They highlight the low cost of living, complimentary breakfast, and the convenience of having an office driver transport them to and from work. Reza also expresses disbelief at the generous compensation offered to a newcomer like himself. Now, that night, while Reza is sleeping in his room, we hear a knocking sound, followed by a painting falling, causing Reza to wake up startled. He opens the window to let in some fresh air, but his attention is suddenly drawn to a tree outside that appears to be shaking strangely. However, upon closer inspection, he realizes that the tree is not moving at all. Afterward, he steps out to get some water and notices Dikin standing there, staring out of the window, but remains silent when Reza tries to engage him in conversation. Deciding to ignore Dikin, Reza starts to leave, but then notices Minto asleep on the couch in the hall. He attempts to wake him up, but when Minto makes a strange noise, Reza decides not to disturb him and leaves. The next evening, upon returning from work, Reza mentions that Minto was sleeping on the couch the previous night. Minto is shocked to hear this, and Indra confirms that he also saw him there. However, Minto explains that after they left, he felt sleepy and went to his room, where he slept until morning. Reza accuses them of messing with him and reveals that he saw Dikin last night as well, but when Dikin arrives, he says he went home while they were having dinner. Indra then presses Dikin for more information, and he discloses that they are not the only occupants of the house. Indra adds that the person they saw last night was not Minto. Minto explains that these entities often take their appearance, pretending to be one of them. Indra mentions that sometimes, after midnight, there is a foul smell, followed by the sound of a woman screaming. Dikin explains that when he saw the weapon Reza brought into the house, he was worried it would anger the entities. Reza questions how they deal with this situation, to which Dikin responds that they follow the advice of the shaman. They show Reza the offering they place in their room, which they have to replace every 3 days. Reza dismisses these superstitions, stating his belief that there is a rational explanation for everything. He challenges the entities, inviting them to confront him if they are upset by his amulet. As he leaves, Reza accidentally knocks over the offering, but he doesn't take it seriously. Later that night, when Reza comes out to get some water, the lights in the house suddenly go off. Minto, also feeling scared, comes out with a torch, and as he moves to fetch water, they become frightened upon hearing a scream. Indra joins them, equally alarmed, and Reza, believing the sound is coming from the backyard, suggests they investigate, as someone might be screaming for help. They follow Reza out into the backyard, where they get scared seeing some bushes moving. Reza moves forward to investigate, and suddenly, a flock of bats flies out. Reza explains that this is why he urged them to stop believing in superstitions. He clarifies that the screaming they heard was simply the sound of bats, which can resemble a woman's scream from a distance. Just then, they hear something falling within the house, and upon inspection, they discover that a painting has fallen. Indra and Reza try to hang the painting back on the wall, and meanwhile, Minto hears some noise from behind, and when he turns, he gets terrified seeing a ghost there. Reza asks him to turn the torch towards them, and when Minto turns back towards the ghost's head has been cut off. Terrified, Minto informs them that the man from the painting is standing near the kitchen. However, when they check, they find no one there. Reza rushes to the kitchen to investigate further, and they hear him scream loudly. Rushing to check on him, they find Reza on the floor, who begins laughing and explains that he simply tripped over. Later that night, Reza wakes up once more and comes out to get some water. However, on his way back to his room, his attention goes to that painting, and to his horror, he witnesses the image of a figure in the painting, its throat being slit. Shocked, Reza drops the glass from his hand and begins choking, and then he collapses to the ground in distress. Indra wakes Reza up, and upon regaining consciousness, Reza inquires about the time. Indra informs him that it's 7 p.m. and that he has been unconscious the entire day. He also reveals that the previous night they found Reza unconscious, and when they attempted to move him to his room, he started roaring and growling like a tiger. Indra explains that Minto and Dikin have gone to fetch the shaman because they cannot comprehend what is happening. Suddenly, Reza begins behaving strangely again, causing Indra to become frightened. He tries to calm Reza down, but Reza continues growling and moves towards him, causing Indra to fall off the bed in fear. However, it turns out that Reza was merely playing a prank on him. Indra gets angry with Reza and goes to his room, and when Reza goes to apologize to him, he finds Indra sitting with the offering plate in his lap, and then gets shocked as Indra begins eating the offering from the plate. Reza initially thinks Indra is playing another prank on him, but when Indra stares at him with a smile, Reza becomes concerned. Indra then starts chewing on the glass, alarming Reza, who tries to stop him. However, Indra grabs him by the throat, claiming ownership of the place, and demands that Reza get rid of his tiger. He then says they know what they want, and tell him to get rid of his amulet. Indra then picks up a piece of glass and begins cutting his hand, and when Reza attempts to stop him, Indra grabs Reza by the throat and starts banging him against the closet. Thankfully, Dikin and Minto arrive with the shaman just in time, and they restrain Indra and lay him down on the bed, while the shaman starts reciting prayers. Gradually, Indra calms down as the prayers take effect, bringing relief to the tense situation. Later, when shaman leaves, Minto tells Indra that he was Mustafa who helped them, and that the shaman they were looking for will arrive tomorrow. The next day, the shaman arrives and initiates a ritual, and as the ritual progresses, they observe the temperature in the room, dropping significantly. Suddenly, the shaman gets up and moves towards a corner, and sensing something has fallen, Reza rushes to investigate. When they come out, they overhear the shaman conversing with someone unseen, and when Reza asks them if he has done this before, they respond negatively. As Reza moves forward to listen more closely, the shaman suddenly appears and announces that the ritual is complete. He explains that the entities have accepted their apology and have promised not to haunt them anymore unless they are provoked. Reza says he thought he's going to make them leave, To which the shaman says they have been here for so long and become so powerful that even if they make them leave, they will come back. He then suggests to Reza that whatever he has with him, he should get rid of it or hand it over to him so that there won't be any clash of powers here. Reza asks, "What does he mean?" To which the shaman warns that Reza is someone who does not believe in the existence of the supernatural and cautions him to be careful. The shaman then transports Reza into another dimension where everyone else disappears, and suddenly he hears a piercing scream echoing through the space. Alarmed, he ventures out to investigate and is horrified to witness the bathroom door opening on its own. Driven by the chilling scream, Reza attempts to re-enter the house, but finds the doors locked. He knocks on a window pleading for help, and someone opens it, allowing Reza to enter. But as he turns around, he is startled to encounter a ghost who accuses him of disrupting his sleep and demands that Reza remove his tiger. Terrified, Reza attempts to flee, only to find himself confronted by the ghost once more outside. The ghost asks him, why doesn't he listen to him? And the windows shatter as he screams. Two statues then come to life, strangling and stabbing Reza with a knife. But just then, Reza finds himself back in his own dimension, and the shaman asks him if has he seen enough. After the shaman leaves, Reza, being skeptical, says the shaman hypnotized him. And maybe they have all been seeing weird things because he hypnotized them too. Indra asks him what he saw, to which he tells Indra that he saw a wounded man in his room who said he couldn't sleep there because of Reza. Indra gets scared to know this, but Reza says this must be the shaman's doing. That night, Minto and Indra decide to sleep in Reza's room, and Minto comments that the creepiest room in the house turns out to be the safest. Indra suggests that perhaps Reza's amulet actually works, which is why he is always protected. That's it for today, friends. The film will continue in the next video. In the meantime, keep watching our other videos to keep the horror alive. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay spooky.